Dude, I love the United States men's national team now. Absolutely electric. Today we're going to talk about it on the Planet Soccer Show here on YouTube. I'm your host, Reed Simpson, along with Dylan up in Michigan. Dylan, it's been a really good past few months for the Usmnt. For the most part. On the field. On the field.
On the field, yeah. But we also rehired Greg Berhalter. And we'll talk about all of that on the next episode of the Planet Soccer Show.
I was really excited, and I guess Dylan just isn't, so sorry, guys.
I'm excited.
I know.
There's a lot to be excited about, but I'm cautiously optimistic. I mean, you got to
very cautiously optimistic.
I'm a Mizzou fan. I'm a Detroit sports fan. I'm a Newcastle. There's a lot to be cautiously optimistic about.
Fair enough.
Cautiously optimistic is a very fair point to be at right now.
That's true. That is true. I want to start off this episode by telling the listeners a little story. Maybe people don't know. If you follow USMNT or American soccer in general, you've probably heard about. Is it Florian Balogun? There's a weird accent on his name. It was like they put the emphasis.
Florian
Balogun. Florian Balogun.
I did it wrong for months. Really, until he committed to us, I was doing it wrong.
I heard the way the announcer said it on TV, and I was like, what?
Yeah. Once he committed to us, I was like, I've been wrong for the last 10 months.
I'm just going to call him Ballo. So Ballo is the new U.S. number 9. He is on his way to becoming a world-class striker. He's still 21 years old, was on loan in the French league at Rennes? Stade Rennes, right? I believe that's correct. Under our guy, Will Still, Dylan and I's favorite manager, big football manager guy. Anyways, he bagged 21 goals with the French side this year. We can now say this. He is the first American to score more than 20 goals and now holds the American scoring record for a European soccer league. So he's the first American.
Albeit the Farmer League, but yeah.
Yeah. It's not the MLS. It's better than the MLS, so we got to give him credit there. It is. Kylian Mbappe.
Messi left.
Kylian Mbappe plays in that league.
Messi left Ligue 1 to go to the MLS.
Okay, yeah. Hey, drop in the comments and let us know which league you think is better. While you're there, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Throw us a like. So Ballo is the new striker for the U.S. men's national team. It's kind of the position that we've been missing. It's the one we were crying out for. Jesus Ferreira hasn't worked out. Ricardo Pepi has been hit or miss. Daryl Dyke hasn't worked out really. So we've been thirsty for this number 9, and we got a very, very good one who's been blockaded by Harry Kane and Ivan Toney and so on and so forth with England, who is not dual citizenship, but what's the word I'm looking for?
Nationality. Dual nationality.
He actually has tri-nationality. He also has nationality with Nigeria. Yeah. But his mom came to the U.S. when he was still in the womb to visit her husband's sister in Brooklyn. His mom went into labor at the airport before she boarded her flight to go back to England. Ballo was born in the United States on a technicality and thus is eligible for the U.S. men's national team. And that's how we got our world-class number 9. And boy, did he look good in the first 2 games. Let's talk about the Mexico game first, Dylan. Whew. That was a good one. All
right, so... But before I dive
go ahead.
the Mexico game, because I could talk for an hour on how good we looked, do we, you and I, because I don't want to speak for all of USMNT fans, but do we feel guilty at all about this?
About the game?
Get dual citizenship.
Or Balogun?
No, Balogun in general.
No.
Do we feel a little slime? I do. I feel a little slimy.
But the French national team is the same way.
But they're not though, because the French national team is people that went there on refugee most of the time, or on, they were looking to move to France, and Balogun just by a luck of the draw, if you will, just happened to be born in the United. It feels a little gross.
I know. I know. As a Newcastle fan, you're always looking for the gross side of things.
Oh yeah, no,
I don't feel slimy about this at all. I'm not apologizing for shit.
So all right, I'm not apologizing because it's the way of the world right now in international football. Like it is what it is. Like this is just part of it. But deep down, I feel a little slimy. He spent zero time in the fundamentally, like he didn't grow as an American soccer player. He didn't come in as an American.
Well, we want players that just always go through MLS academies. No, we want the dual national.
I want guys that are American.
He's American.
Oh my God, I can't believe
he's American.
I can't believe I'm going to say this. I can't believe it. I want the Brandon Aaronsons of the world to actually be good. To be good. No. I'm not saying I want Brandon Aaronson to lead us to World Cup glory.
You want the pretty white kid from New Jersey. I'm just messing with you.
Soccernomics, the blonde guy.
Yeah.
It's back there. I haven't finished it yet, but it's back there.
Such a good book.
Like I deep down, I do feel a tinge bit guilty. Granted, I was as much in Balogun's mentions, his comment section, like I wanted him. Like we all wanted him. I want him. But it feels kind of like I feel like with Newcastle. It feels a little dirty.
No, like, it's not blood. It's not blood money that we secured him with.
Why was she? All right. We're not going to get too deep, but yeah, it's not blood money.
Hey, it is something that didn't even cross my mind. Like you bring it up as the first time I've ever even thought about it, and I'm just brushing it. I don't care at all. Screw it.
Deep down, I care, but like on the surface, I don't care. Our World Cup is here. This is our World Cup. I know we've hosted a World Cup before, but like this is our World Cup.
Alexi Lawless played in that World Cup though, so it doesn't count.
Right? No, exactly. Like this is the actual coming of age World Cup that we have been begging for, been dying for, and now we have a striker when we didn't have one. I'm beyond excited.
We don't just have a striker. He's freaking electric, man. He is absolutely electric. Like watching him.
Hey, right now on the spot, where do you rank him in the world of strikers?
I honestly didn't watch him very much in the French league, so I don't know. But as far as like the, I watched his highlight clips on YouTube, and I mean
and they're nice.
Yeah, and they're nice. I mean, he should have 2 in 2 games for the U.S., but he only has 1. But hey, he scored. So let's move on to the Mexico game. It's kind of a good segue. Like, should we feel bad about Balogun? Then we move on to talk about Mexico, and they're just so bad.
They're bad.
Like, the talent is bad. The coaching is bad. The morale is bad. And they suck. We absolutely slobber knocked the shit out of them.
So there's an age-old like argument in American sports. Could Alabama beat X team? The Cleveland Browns. The Detroit Lions.
That was the big one. Like the 0-16 Browns. Could Alabama beat them?
There is an age-old conversation in American sports. Could this be a side that like could beat a legitimate side? Like could an American side with Balogun at a U21 side beat like a legitimate like and that's where I like really struggle. Like he is young still. I'm excited about him, but like is he really going to be impactful on the world stage? Could a young Balogun really do a difference against an Argentina that just won the World Cup? Like, let's be honest. The USMNT side, as much as I love us, as much as I root for us, we're still leaps and bounds away.
No,
but you throw a 5-star recruit.
Fuck that. It's all about the mentality, Dylan. No, here's the thing. Sorry, I don't know if you were done or not, but the Alabama and Cleveland Browns thing, like they're not even in the same like division of the sport. Like it's professionals versus semi-professionals.
Right.
And this
and neither is the USMNT side with Brazil.
I mean, the goalkeeper's at Arsenal. You've got a center back and the two center backs in the Prem.
A backup at Arsenal. But
Yeah. No, okay. I got you.
Continue.
You got Yunus Musa, who's going to be tied to top European sides in the next year or two. Tyler Adams is very, very good at CDM when he's fit. And Pulisic one thing is, like, you have to think about these guys as USMNT players. Not Pulisic is a Chelsea player, but Pulisic is a USMNT player, and he's
100%.
just different.
No, yeah.
Timothy Weah is amazing on the right wing, dude. Every time I watch him, I'm like, why isn't he linked with bigger clubs? I think he's linked with Juventus now, so it's about time. But I don't think it takes like a can he do it against Argentina? I think it takes Saudi Arabia beat Argentina. You know, all you have to get is, I know the circumstances. They parked the bus. There were like 17 offsides. But you get what I'm saying. All it takes is one worldie to beat a better side. And
one time, though.
Yeah.
And I agree. I think this USMNT side with Balogun 100% could beat any single team in any single game.
One time.
Time. But, is this really a side with Balogun? And I'm ecstatic about Balogun, don't get me wrong. But are we really a side that can beat you're going to have to beat like an England, a Portugal, and Brazil to win the next World Cup.
Oh, I don't think we'll win the next World Cup. I mean, no, we won't.
You said we were coming.
It was for clicks and views, you know how this is. No, but in reality, I mean, you look at this team. The team that's playing in the World Cup is 3 years down the line. Balogun will be 24. Pulisic will be 28, 29. So they're going to be older. We don't know what the players are going to look. We don't know who's going to be fit. Maybe Gio Reyna gets a good doctor and is always fit all of a sudden. Maybe Pulisic gets the right move and plays. He's on club form, national form. Maybe Joe Scally gets a good move and then overtakes Dest's spot, because he's looked amazing when he's played. I can't believe that we played Shaq Moore in the World Cup over Scally. You holding up for?
That was four maybes. It's a lot of maybes.
Everything 3 years from now is a maybe, though.
Don't get me wrong. I'm excited, but I'm also not ready. I am. Again, maybe it's because I'm a Detroit sports fan, a Mizzou sports fan. I am just very cautiously optimistic that Balogun had an unbelievable, world-class season in Ligue 1. But it's Ligue 1. It's not the World Cup. It's not World Cup qualifiers. There's levels.
Yeah, but look at all the players that have gotten their starts in Ligue 1, though. Yeah, I mean, this is the start of his career, so you can't dock him for having a great year in a Farmers League, Thierry Henry started in the Farmers. I'm not comparing him to Thierry Henry, but I'm just making a point where you can't judge a 21-year-old because he played in a bad league.
I am excited. I'm not trying to hold too much against him. I'm just trying to temper my expectations.
We don't do that here. We don't do that here.
21. It is a 21, 22-year-old. Albeit he plays for the U.S. There will be some letdown.
I mean, he plays for the U.S. because Harry Kane plays for England. He wasn't going to get a start for 2 World Cups.
But maybe I'm jaded. That it's not the fact that he's not playing for England; it's the fact that he's playing for the U.S. And I'm why is he playing for the U.S.?
If you're one of our listeners and followers, ignore what Dylan just said, because we're trying to elevate the mindset of U.S. soccer. We are the greatest.
We are. I love it. I love the positivity. I'm here for it. I want us to be the greatest. I want us to be the next. But I'm also cautiously optimistic when it comes to Balogun and everything I saw, especially in the second match.
Yeah.
In Nations League, he looked even better. That first match, I didn't love a lot of what I saw. There was no hold up play. There was no really progression. Pulisic missed a chance to him. That likely would have been a tap in, but we didn't see it. We don't know.
First game. I mean, him and Gio looked linked in that second game, bro. But no, yeah. And how much did you really need him to score in that Mexico game? Like,
oh yeah, no, I could have. All right, maybe not, but a lot of people other than me could have scored in that Mexico game.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Mexico game a little bit. It was BJ ball at its finest. Man, they looked fast. They looked direct. They looked intentional. It was the polar opposite from everything we saw from Greg. And lo and behold, about midway through the first half, it gets leaked that Greg's going to come back. It was such a weird sea of emotions because, like, we are just wrecking Mexico. And then the players are going to get in the locker room at halftime. I don't know if they heard or it's going to get to them eventually, but like that's so weird. Like it's such a torn feeling.
I hated it. I hated all of that. The players had no idea. Let's be honest. Like maybe they got a text. I've been in
I think it's more likely that the players on the bench might have heard like the crowd clamoring about it. Makes sense,
right? And I've been in a toot my own horn like professional sports locker room before, and like you do have more guys on their phone than you think.
Oh yeah,
but I don't think that had any like impact on the match itself.
They switched out halftime cigarettes for halftime cell phones.
As fans, though, it was weird. Like we just had this overly dominating performance. Granted, I was at softball. I admittedly only caught the last 10 minutes, maybe. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Of the second half, I think that's about all I caught. But we were dominating every aspect of that game, and then like you said, you have this point where it's like we are finally, not that we haven't overcome Mexico already, but like this was like the point where it was we are far past Mexico.
It was like set in stone, put the sword in the stone, like the U.S. is better than Mexico now.
Like they're, and not just we're better, they're never catching up. That's how
I agree. You're not
like it was a point. Yeah. It was a point where like I'm not scared of Mexico.
No.
Canada is my up north. Canada is my rival now. Like I'm not scared of
Canada's
Mexico.
shit if there's not snow on the field. I'm just kidding. They're not shit, but they're a different team.
Or Alphonso Davies.
I mean,
we could say
Joe Scally pulled him out of his pocket after that game was over.
They still have the single best player in CONCACAF, in my own opinion. You can disagree. They have the single best player, but like that's my point. Mexico has nothing I am scared of.
No,
there isn't one player on Mexico I'm nervous about, and U.S. really forced that opinion on me. Like there was nothing there about Mexico that scared me, and the U.S. just absolutely dominated the first half. I got home from softball, as I said. I didn't watch the first 35 minutes. I know. What podcaster am I not watching a whole USMNT game? But here we are. It's summer in Michigan. I'm getting out and playing softball when I can. But like, it is what it is. Like there's nothing about Mexico that scares me. And
there are a lot of guys on Mexico I want to punch in the face, but nobody that scares me.
But that's a whole that says a lot.
Yeah.
Like when you're looking at like I'm overall. Scale of 1 to 10, 10 is the most optimistic, 1 is the most pessimistic. I'm like a 7 right now in USMNT, and most people are probably like a 8, 9, 10 level.
Not with Greg back.
But I thank you. I was there for a portion of that Mexico game, and then, as you said, we announced that Greg's back, and now where does that leave us? Like I don't.
It's scary, man. It really is, because I mean, you've got a team that's playing just lights out when they have their best players on the field. You've got a team that's having fun, that's just integrated a new, really good number 9. It's scary. I don't know how they came to that conclusion. There are a lot of behind-the-scenes financial aspects to it that we're not going to discuss. Maybe we will later on if we get, or we'll bring Nick on, to talk about it. So in that game, Mexico actually led possession, but that's because they had the ball like the last 15 minutes trying to score. The U.S. just parked the bus. The U.S. had 15 shots, I think, 11 shots to Mexico's 4 shots on target, 5-1. I mean, they dominated the game. 5 big chances in that game. Mexico had none. Just a really impressive all-around performance from everybody. I wish that, obviously, McKinney didn't get the red card and Dest didn't get the red card, but it didn't end up mattering in the end. Yeah, it was a good meme, with McKinney with his shirt torn. But overall, it was just it was a joyous night on the field for the U.S. without a
doubt. Good meme is an understatement. Yeah. Like we will be using that GIF. Like we will be using that GIF. Like,
do you see the guy?
I'll have kids. I will have kids, and people will still be using that GIF. Like that will happen.
There was a guy that
is generational is an understatement.
That came to the Canada game and he tore his jersey like McKinney, and McKinney went up and signed it for him. It was pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, just go look at the SOFA score from that Mexico game, guys, and it was glorious. Dylan, let's skip a full Greg is back because that'll take 20 minutes. I just don't want this episode to run 45. Let's talk about the good stuff that we saw from the guys who played in the 2 Nations League games. By the way, we know the Gold Cup is going on. We know we just drew Jamaica.
And we don't care.
We don't care. We're not talking about it.
We're too big.
Yeah. No. We don't.
Like,
we don't worry about
I'm going to be that guy.
Those 10 punk.
I'm going to be that guy. Put this on TikTok. I'm going to be that guy. We don't care. We're too big for the Gold Cup. I'm skeptical of our long-term success. We're too big for the Gold Cup. I don't care. Like that is something
we're focused on Copa America,
care
baby.
Less about.
Bring on Copa.
We tied Jamaica, and I couldn't care less. I watched the game caring because I had a bet on it, but like
degenerate.
Deep down, like yeah. Known fact for our listeners, but like I deep down do not care about the Gold Cup. The Nations League, though, on the other hand, it was a sign of dominance.
It was
as simple as it was. Like it
was easy. It was easy, man. It felt easy.
It was. It did, and it sounds scary. Like I'm hesitant to talk about how easy it was.
You've been really hesitant tonight. Lots of hesitation out of you.
I don't want to be. I'm scared. Like I don't know how this feels. Again, Detroit, Mizzou. Like there's a lot of fan bases I'm a part of that like we're not good.
Yeah.
So when I get good, I'm like, are we actually good? But like this USMNT side, like this feels different. Like it feels like a side that Canada can't touch, Mexico can't touch. The rest of CONCACAF, obviously, if those two can't touch it, won't touch us. Like I need to see a second minimum knockout leg in the World Cup to feel like borderline content. And like
tough man to please. No, I'm with you. You got to get to the second round of the knockouts with this team.
It sounds easy when we're talking up and like boosting up this side, but like that's something I've never felt as a U.S. fan. I've never been like my minimum is a round of 16 win, and then the changed up brackets or whatever. I haven't thought too much about that.
Yeah, that's going to take some getting our head around.
Yeah, my bare minimum is advancing out of the round of 16 right now, and that's something that hasn't really crossed my mind as like a bare bones expectation before, and that says a lot. And like honestly, let's be honest, let's take a step back. We're still the US. We're not Spain, we're not Brazil, we're not Germany, we're not Italy. Maybe we can count England, but they don't do much. Here for the clicks. Like we're still the USMNT side. Like a round of 16 advancement is very nice, but like that's my bare minimum right now.
In the past, a round of 16 advancement would have been a surprise, but now it's leaning more towards an expectation, which feels like a changing of the guard. It feels like okay, America, yeah, they play basketball, yeah, they play football, yeah, they play baseball, yeah, they even do well in hockey, but soccer's really becoming important. And you can feel it, like literally in America, like they're, front yards in Texas that have soccer goals in them. Like I've never seen that in my life. And I see that often now. So it's coming. And maybe in 2026, when all those guys are 3 years older, maybe we'll see a quarterfinal run, a semifinal run. I don't think you can win it. But on home soil, if they play right, I mean, the guys love Greg for the most part, other than the whole Geo situation. You can tell that the team likes Greg, but I don't care.
Even Gio doesn't hate him anymore.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
I don't care as much about Greg's relationship with the players. I just want him to line up in a fucking 4-2-3-1. Let Gio play 10, like basically exactly what BJ did. You have something to say, Dylan? It looks like you're telling me to preach to the choir.
No, preach to the choir.
Like if Greg can just adapt his tactics, I want Greg's like relationship with the players on a tactically exciting
on a BJ side.
Yes.
And like that to me that's bonkers.
Yeah.
We're excited about a BJ Callaghan side. Like that
FC Dallas, get BJ Callaghan in right now.
And I'm excited about the prospects of Greg seeing what a well-managed, well-strategized side can be. But, like, that's also part of my, like, tempering my expectations.
Absolutely.
Like, we're letting – my expectations now for strategically aside is BJ Callaghan. Like, what are we talking
Even
about?
Anthony Hudson was awesome. The team looked great under him, too. Like, yeah. It's kind of like the whole Conte versus Ange Postecoglou situation. Like Conte, the name, like, Greg's the name. Like people recognize him. You know what you're going to get. But like BJ Callaghan and Ange Postecoglou, like they're just more exciting. Everybody gets more excited. And with Greg, with the USMNT, you have to go into the World Cup with excitement, both fans and players. If the players know they're just going to end up passing it backwards 200 times a game, it's going to be really hard for them to capitalize on the few chances they do get. But if you're constantly on the front foot, it'll create an electric atmosphere for a young upstart team like the U.S. has with Gio at the 10 and the USMNT version of Pulisic and Balogun up front. Like you have the energy and the drive to do well in that World Cup. It's all going to be up to Greg and how he sets up, I think.
So that's what's interesting to me, and I'll cede this point to you probably, but Gio Reyna was
man of the match both games.
Out of this world.
Yeah, unbelievable.
He was out of this world.
Blonde Reyna is
next level. And like my biggest concern, and right or wrong, my biggest concern is, can Greg curtail that relationship into something positive? Because like we've seen Gio at Dortmund off the bench, granted, but like successful, very
like a top 5 goals and assists per 90 in the Bundesliga this year.
Right,
crazy.
And granted, it's off the bench, so minutes are minimum, and
he's running in tired legs.
Yeah, and the field spreads open, especially in the Bundesliga in the last 20 minutes. But like we've seen Gio at Dortmund, we've now seen Gio under a different manager at USMNT. Like, are we going to see this different Gio under Greg? Like that is my biggest question. Like if we really truly see our best version of Gio, which I think we have almost come to see, like there is still something to dig out of him, I think, because I think he just has that ability to continually improve, and he has that drive. Like I think there are ways he can get
He's
better.
The best player we have. Yes, no?
Yeah.
On form, when healthy, Gio Reyna is the best player the U.S. has.
Yep. No, yeah. No, I agree. And it's a guy that our current manager didn't want to play in the World Cup.
This is not
safe for kid language.
Yeah, too late on that. This is not like a threat to Greg in any way, shape, or form. I'm just stating an opinion. I think Greg's like safety will genuinely be in like jeopardy at matches if he doesn't start Reno. Like he might get shit thrown at him if he doesn't start Gio in games.
So I'll also say this. I think if we do not have a successful World Cup, but Greg plays Gio, Greg's got more years under him. Like I truly believe if we lose in the first knockout stage, but Gio, like that's where this has gotten from a
just because like he's so like incumbency advantage sort of deal. Is that kind of what you're talking?
Like it's been so politicized that Gio is the future. There's people like you, I'm not quite ready to agree, but there's people like us, pundits, if you will, that are ready to say Gio's the best player. And if you're ready to not start Gio and you lose, you're gone. If you start Gio and you don't have success, it's like, man, I played my best side and it didn't work.
But at the same time, who the hell stays as a national team coach for 15 years? Or what would it be? 11 years at that point?
Americans.
I don't know, man.
Sides with little aspiration.
Yeah.
Like, I hate to say it,
the whole thing about Greg.
At the end of the day, our aspiration, I just said my aspiration, is to make it out of the round of 16. And if that is all our aspiration is, I especially in the new format, like I firmly believe Greg could, I don't think he should or will, could get us out of this round of 16 without Gio.
Yeah. Theoretically, we are still in the stone ages of the U.S.'s rise of soccer, though. So maybe mentality, aspiration will change by then. Who knows? The thing about the Greg hire for me is like they committed to him through the World Cup, which I did not think was going to happen. I thought it'd be like, okay, go the next 2 years, then we'll assess. But no, I mean, it's like he's going to be there for the World Cup unless a scandal or something happens.
So I like that.
Really?
I don't like Greg. I absolutely love the fact that we are in it. This is our guy. Like, I don't like the fact, like, you see it so much in club football. Like, oh, this is our bridge manager.
Yeah.
I don't want a bridge manager.
That's a good point. Yeah.
We have Gold Cup, we have Copa America, we have the World Cup. Like, we have lots of trophies to try and go win if we are actually trying to solidify ourselves as a international power. So I don't want, like, sure, there are managers I would have preferred. If you tell me
go watch our videos on the manager candidates, by the way.
Right. Yeah. That if you tell me Thierry Henry could be our manager, not this year, but in 2 years, but for the World Cup, like, yeah, I'm probably backing like that general concept. But deep down, I love the fact that we're all in.
Yeah, we're backing our guy, which means a lot. You don't see it very much in the sport anymore.
This is our guy. Yeah. This is our team. We have our number 9 now. We have, I would argue, 10 of our 11 positions solidified.
What's the one that's not?
For the World Cup? You could argue right back is like
kind of. Yeah, it's not really you don't have one, though. It's just they're trying to fight out to see who's going to end up being better.
Right, yeah. Right. But like other than that, like I could probably list 10 of our starting 11 in the next World Cup. And like, so we're fully in.
If everyone's healthy, for sure.
Set of guys. Right. Yeah. Health aside, this is for sure our 10 guys. This is for sure our manager. Let's go at it for 3 years before and I like that side of it. I don't love Greg. Made that very clear numerous times. I don't love Greg. I do love that we are fully putting our chips in his.
There's no guessing. He's not going to have to guess at his job security and.
Right. Go do it.
Yeah.
It's yours. Go do it. And that's exciting.
Yeah.
If Spain was hosting the World Cup, you're telling me they're trying to change their manager like 6 months out?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Unless it was like
Like
a Mourinho or something. But that's the kind of guy Spain can get.
And we thought we could.
Look, there'll be
you and I thought we could.
There will be a time, maybe it's 100 years down the road, maybe it's 50, maybe it's 20. I genuinely believe we're on the road to it not really mattering who coaches the U.S. because eventually the best athletes in the country are going to start playing soccer. At least a fair share are going to start playing soccer. And I know, Dylan. I know it's very elitist of me, but every sport that we focus on, we dominate. It just feels like maybe we won't dominate, like win every World Cup, obviously, probably not, but like we'll be a top 5 nation consistently.
It'll be baseball-esque.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
Yeah, like there will be the
like Japan might knock us off.
Yeah.
Or the Dominican might knock us off. But like, hey, we're still here.
Yeah.
We're still in the semifinals, quarterfinals, every single. And I don't disagree with that. I optimistically believe in that.
It might not be in our lifetime. Maybe so. Who knows? I'm just saying. I'm just saying down the line.
I cautiously, optimistically believe in that.
Yeah, down the line, it will happen. There's too much with Messi coming to America. I've already got my tickets for when Inter Miami comes. Like, it's going to explode. It already is, but it's going to explode even more.
Do you have one for me?
You want to come down?
We don't have an MLS team. Yeah, I'm there.
Come on down.
Go see, because I have thought about this. Side tangent. We probably should edit this out. But I thought of the idea of Messi playing at DCFC.
That'd be electric.
So Dylan's audio actually crapped out while he was giving a profound statement about Leo Messi joining DCFC. So I apologize that you guys didn't get to hear that. I'm just here to close it out. We appreciate you guys listening. As always, make sure to like, subscribe, follow, share, duet, retweet, like, all that. We'll talk to y'all next time.